Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
Did you miss a show? Download the podcast now.
Hey, it's Alayna J. So divorces can be messy, but sometimes people are petty. What was the pettiest thing you did during your divorce? Plus, did you hear Chuck E. Cheese is closing? No, my childhood is being destroyed. But what place do you remember most from your childhood? And we got a call from our listener, JT, who was attacked by an anaconda. His story is insane. All of this plus so much more is coming up in the Playhouse Podcast, which starts now.
Here's the deal. When we notice something on social media, we definitely got to bring it up. It's our social media snag this morning, and it has to do with divorce. Like, I get it. If you're in a toxic relationship and you finally get that divorce, you're probably happy, right? There's a new thing ahead of you, but damn, you want to advertise it on the back of your car?
I know. I just think when it involves kids, and it did on the back of this SUV because it was the little stick figure family, then it gets super immature because you're flaunting their broken family right in front of them. And that's the part that kills me. If it's just you two and you don't have kids or fur babies or whatever, and you just want to like celebrate and burn your wedding dress, that's great. Speaking of burning, Allison, I would love for you to text in, but I'm going to say her text anyway. She says, my sister burned all of her ex's clothing. She called me drunk. I told her not to.
Thing.
Yes, I told her not to. But her girlfriends egged her on. Yeah, those girlfriends in the back.
Those are real girlfriends, by the way.
Those are ride or die.
Yeah, those are some ride or die chicks, man. Elaine, you ever did anything really petty in a relationship?
No, but, this reminds me of my mom always tells the story about her parents, my grandparents. They got a divorce 20 plus years ago. But apparently my grandpa was so stubborn. They had this dinnerware set, and he decided to take half of it. And so
he took 4 plates?
Yes. So she was left with 4 plates. And apparently there was this crystal dish, and there was 2 of them for the set. And he took one of them. He would not budge. He had to have half. And then years went on. 10 years later, they became good friends. So they both remarried, both my grandparents, in good relationships. They started hanging out together as couples, going to casinos. My grandma brought it up and finally got the set back.
Oh, she waited it out like 20, 30 years and finally got the set back.
Mm-hmm. Did she get the reason why, too? Because he didn't want to eat off that set.
He never did. He never touched it.
No, he just wanted to get back at her.
What?
There it is. Our social media snag this morning is, what is the most petty thing you've done or had done to you in your divorce? Tim, you're first up, man. Now, what was the day this all happened?
2006.
Okay.
My divorce was finalized on February 14th.
Dang.
Valentine's Day.
For a big guy, I jumped up and down and shouted for joy. It was a great day.
See, now sometimes when you've been going through the process that long, that final, just like it's going to be happening on this day thing is a big deal. And Jamie, how did it all go down?
My ex-husband took me on a 9-year anniversary trip to the Smoky Mountains. And when we got there, he said we were there to plan our divorce. I'm like, what?
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me? We just drove to plan our divorce when we could have done this at the kitchen table? It was a very long trip home.
I would imagine.
That's a petty thing. To spend both of your money, and then you're probably going to stay there for a long time.
Yep.
A couple of days at least, right?
She's got her emotions going. She shaved. She's ready for vacation.
She thought there was still something going on. How's Kathy doing today?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Great. How petty did it get?
I stole his orange peeler.
Now, was this something that he used every day? Like he would miss it?
Yeah. He was a juicer, and it was the kind that, you slide down the side and you don't have to use your hands very much. And I use it till this day thinking, he doesn't have that.
Don't you think he went out and got another one?
Does he know you jacked it?
Do I what?
Does he know that you jacked his orange peeler?
He must have, because it was the only one he had. And, you can get them at Walmart for like $1, but it was just, it was the principle of the thing.
But it was his special orange peeler, huh?
That's right.
I think you win today. You're the most petty divorcee we've had on the show so far this morning.
Next to Alayna's grandfather,
yeah.
I think.
And
you're in there.
And was it such a bad breakup that you genuinely peel an orange right now and think about how much of a D-bag this guy was?
Well, I actually found out that he liked boys over girls.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something.
You're not the first person to call our show with this.
I think that would make it easier for me.
I know, it'd be so much harder.
You listen to Derek's show, people are like, how has he not told you that already? Because he just hits on men nonstop. But I'm like,
I think Derek just appreciates the male figure.
If he went to guys over me, I think that would be easier than another chick. Personally.
Well, I kind of walked in on him watching a movie.
It gets even better.
And I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I just forgot my wallet and came home, and I'm like, okay, this is a red flag.
Oh, man.
Boy.
But it's been many years, and I still have that orange peeler, and I use it with pride every day.
I don't know how it went from orange peeler to I found out he really liked boys, and I walked in on
so
him.
So it wasn't just a
weird
weird
we got there.
video thing? Like, he legit is he with a man right now?
I have no idea.
Oh.
This was like in 2000.
You don't know whose oranges he's peeling right now?
Someone's getting fresh squeezed orange juice right now, and it's not
And
us.
it's not because of you, Kathy.
Well, thank you for calling and telling that story. That was super petty. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Take care. If you've got something for us, that one went all sorts of directions I didn't expect.
Yeah, that was good. And by the way, you can't taxidermy humans in the U.S., so you can't hunt Trisha.
Wait, that just says the U.S. So if I want to get stuffed in Mexico,
the thing is with the human skin, it's tough. They say that
I'd make her lotion it every day.
It stretches a lot more than animal skin.
Yeah,
and I know where your mind's
I'm
going. Can
supple.
I be mounted? You can't even be mounted in the U.S.
I'm pretty supple. I think my skin would last for a long time.
Really?
Yeah. If she got lotion on it every day, a couple years stuffed in the corner. This is what I'm looking for. Just a good haunting.
Oh, nice.
Think about it. If you got a great petty story, we'd love to hear it. 320-251-1047. Listen, and on the tip of that, if my wife left me for another woman, I would have said I wasn't putting it down right. I'm going to be really, really honest. So on Kathy's side, good for her that she didn't go there.
Yeah.
But I would immediately think I wasn't doing it right.
I don't know. Ask Alayna. Alayna, you were with guys before you were with girls. Mm-hmm. Is it more of an emotional thing, or is it a physical thing, or maybe a little bit of both?
It's a little bit of both.
If your girlfriend right now left for men, wouldn't you think you weren't doing it right?
No.
Really? That's exactly where my head goes right away.
I would be totally okay.
Maybe
with
it's
it.
a guy thing. Guys, will you text in real quick? If your wife left you for another woman, wouldn't you think you weren't doing it right? Chuck E. Cheese, there's a legitimate chance they don't come back. And it's going to make a ton of people very, very, very sad. They need again, this is according to what I read yesterday, they need $200 million to get bailed out just to get through the next quarter. They're nearing $1 billion in debt. Now, let me set the mood a little bit.
Chuck E. Cheese, when you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
It's a good cat place that's sure to please.
When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese. When you're hungry for fun, it's Chuck E. Cheese.
If Chuck E. Cheese does not make a return, Kat, will it diminish part of your childhood? Will it erase a little bit of it?
I'll be really sad about it. It was like when Ground Round went away. You know, my mom always took us there. Ground Round, penny a pound.
Yeah.
So my meal was always like 60 cents, you know, when I was younger. Yes, I understand. Right now it would only be 90 cents. I gained a little bit. But there were certain places that when you knew you were going, you were so excited as a kid.
So what was yours? Most off, the biggest highlight memory that you had?
I would say Camp Snoopy. That was like when I found out we were going. My parents took us to Mall of America all the time. They blindfolded us for the grand opening walkthrough of the Mall of America.
Jesus.
Drove us down there, blindfolded us the whole way from Anoka.
You do that now.
You
see two kids blindfolded in the back of a car right now. Somebody's calling the cops.
Like, you think about it, you're like, oh my God, it's a long drive to be blindfolded. But for Liam, right now, he would say his happy place is Dollar General. He will go there, and I have not seen him in his element.
How much does he go in there with?
Do
you just give him $1 and he gets to pick out whatever he wants?
He's got his own wallet, man. I'm not buying him stuff at the dollar store, but he'll go and he'll decide. He's got this toy. Does he want to spend his money on this one? This is a great learning tool, too.
Alayna, give me something better than Dollar General. Like, what's your happy spot in your childhood?
Happy Joe's. So it was like Chuck E. Cheese, but like a smaller version. So they had all the games. And then
It was
you get
the B-
tickets.
Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, but
Sounds
the
like the
pizza,
candy van.
The pizza was way better than Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm super old, so people are going to remember Shakey's Pizza.
Okay.
My generation's going to remember Shakey's. I had a birthday party at Shakey's Pizza once, and it was, I look back at the pictures, and I was the happiest kid ever in the history of the world. Holly, where's your happy spot? Where'd you used to go as a kid? And you were just like, that's it. I loved it. Now it's not there anymore.
BC Discovery Zone.
Where's that?
That used to be over by like the old Kmart.
Okay. We're like $5, what is it? Five
Below.
Five Below is, and Dick's and stuff like that.
So what did you do there? I can't even get it from the name. I don't even know what that is.
It was where you could like climb mountain walls and big ball pits and slides, and you could have like your birthday there, but there was like no games. But it was just all like a big action center for kids to be locked into.
So it's more of like hey, it's going to be a fun kids zone, but we're going to, emphasize exercise and a little bit of health and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Nice.
And how, when did they go out of business? Do you remember?
I do not remember, but I know they left St. Cloud like way back, and I don't remember when they went under.
Cameo had texted in the roller rink in Brainerd. It was called World on Wheels.
Oh, I should have said Cheapskate.
Yeah, that's kind of where I thought you were going to go. Thanks, Holly. Have a great morning. I appreciate you being on the show. So, yeah, yours was Cheapskate?
They ran a pimp ring out of there until 2 years ago. They busted all these pimps in the back pool table area.
They were dropping it like it's hot?
I'm like, I don't remember that happening.
I can't imagine just pimps at the roller rink. Like, I went to Skateville, and
Yeah.
there was never any pimping going on there.
I can see how it could be so under the radar.
My pimp
back
radar
there.
is strong.
Is it?
Yeah.
You can spot one a mile away.
Oh, my God. Like nobody's business.
Father's Day is coming up this weekend, and much like Christmas and any other gift-giving season, we made Derek open his yesterday.
Why? Why so early?
Because we just can't wait. We have the gift sitting in our linen
What'd you
closet,
get him?
and it was killing us. We got him new Under Armour tennis shoes.
Nice.
And Liam picked them out. He picked out both shirts for Umpa and Papa.
Okay.
He really had a lot of say this year for Father's Day. But is there something that you want? Anything that you want in particular for Father's Day?
No, you know what happened over, I'm telling you guys, over quarantine, my wife and I did a little too much shopping, like the wish list of, we want this, let's install it. We want this. Let's, make it part of our home. I'm good. I really am. I'd really be happy with just having good high quality chicken breasts on the grill. That'd be good enough for me right now.
Like Kevin Costner, he is like the man. What do you get the man that has everything?
I should probably be slapped if I ask for anything when I think about what has happened in my life. But my daughter, for instance, who's 10, she had a list like this. It was just unbelievable, and it was very detailed. I can't think of a single thing, Ryan.
So, actually, what's going to listen, the only thing, and I feel bad about asking for this, like both boys are going to be, actually, their baseball seasons are starting. So that was part of it. But my daughter needs surgery. She needs hip surgery. And after the quarantine, it kept getting pushed back because there weren't any elective surgeries going on. And now talking to her doctors, they're saying, all right, we're going to be able to get her in pretty soon. And it's like they have to have 3 doctors in for this one surgery.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 4 or 5 hours.
That's crazy.
And then she's going to have 3 days at the hospital. And if you can't visit her, it's really, but she needs to get it done because she's in perpetual pain all the time.
Yeah.
And so that
one
would be,
of you can't stay with her. It's literally just the
unless
patient,
they open
right?
up the rules a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can go visit and stuff like that a little bit, but I mean, she has, she's only 16, to stay in a hospital for 3 nights by yourself is a little bit daunting. So that's what I'd want is for her to be able to get that done.
I feel like you're part of the men that were surveyed. Just an ice cold beer. All of the dads said, I just want an ice cold beer out in the sun, and that is it. So that's all right.
It's amazing. That's what guys want for Father's Day, but moms for Mother's Day. No. I want this. I want this. I want this. And this is what I'm going to want. And then I want some of this. And then I want brunch. And then I want flowers. And then I want everything else.
So we're faulted for knowing what we want.
Dudes are like, just a beer and leave me alone for a little bit.
Weird news.
So this one reminded me of you, so I had to talk about it. Seniors at Glens Fall High School in New York pulled a senior prank last Friday where they posted a giant for sale sign outside of the school that read, "For sale, vacant since March 100 rooms, turf field, auditorium, 2 full gyms, and then a swimming pool, limited parking, and the school's phone number was listed, obviously, and nobody's going to take that seriously.
So I did this for our senior prank. I put the school up for sale, and then I put an ad in the paper. And I didn't necessarily say it was the school. I just said large building, great structure, stuff like that.
Give the address?
Yeah, give the address, and then I give the phone number to the front office on there and stuff like that. Less than delighted was the administration.
So we never had any senior pranks pulled my senior year, but I remember when I was a freshman, the senior class took, and we had a crazy BA lesbian principal that was so amazing. She'd ride her Harley in every day.
Cool.
And, oh my God, she was crazy cool. And she would park it out front. One day, some of the seniors distracted her, moved her.
They put it on the roof.
Motorcycle, to the gas station across the street. Kept it there all day. She was panicking.
She was wigging out.
Finally, they let her know.
That's going to leave a mark.
Oh, that one hurts.
That one hurts. Oh, that hurt. Oh, oh.
That does leave a mark.
Oh.
Yes, it will. A Portland, Oregon man who accidentally shot himself in his groin has been sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Didn't he blame it on a homeless guy broke in or something like that?
He did. He blamed it on some guy at the bus stop, and he said that there was a scuffle, but the 35-year-old did end up shooting himself in the groin because he didn't know that the safety was off. Cops went to the crime scene, found no evidence of the shooting. Then his girlfriend said he shot himself. They're always going to out you. Yes, he shot himself.
You know what reminds me of?
Down.
Who's the guy in the 8 Mile that shoots himself? What's his name? What's the character's name?
The white string
Cheddar
guy?
Bob.
Yeah.
And he shoots himself with his own gun. That's exactly what I was
desk
thinking.
Pop. It's called a desk pop. And that is what's weird.
Hey, real quick, I want to bring Amy on the show because your brother did the school prank too, but with what?
Him and his friends got kind of wasted, and they decided they were going to steal cows. And the funny thing about cows is they can totally go upstairs,
but
they can't go downstairs.
Right.
And so they got this cow to go up the stairs to the high school, and there was no way to get the cow down the stairs,
So
and
what'd
they
they do?
actually had to remove a big wall and crane the cow out of the high school. And so, yeah, he got expelled.
So, and thank
I
you for
would
the
think
story.
so.
I appreciate that. But can't you believe that you couldn't lead the cow down the stairs eventually?
It's a cow.
But you push him a little bit.
My God, that would be so funny.
I
Get him all
fully-
the way up. I didn't think about it.
We had seniors actually, when I was probably a sophomore, that put a bunch of barn swallows in lockers.
Yeah.
And they would catch them in the barn, and then they put them in like a gunny sack, and then they'd put them in someone's locker. And then the swallows eventually get out of the gunny sack. But as soon as somebody opens the locker, and by the way, they would find their way to the gymnasium because that had the tallest ceiling.
Uh-huh.
And then they would hang out there, and you couldn't get them down.
Yeah.
40, 50-foot ceilings in the gymnasium. And these swallows are just going around and around. And I remember like that night there was a volleyball game, and the place was packed, and everyone just kept looking up and watching these barn swallows.
Got the poo on.
It's exactly that. And when they're left in that locker overnight,
Yeah.
they crap everywhere. What do you guys have the air conditioning set at, Kat?
60.
What?
Are you serious?
We had to last night just to kick it up to the chill that we like. I'm sure Derek put it at 65 this morning.
Still, that's like
Amazing.
That's polar bear status.
That's sleep weather right there.
Alayna, what do you have it at?
68.
Yeah. Okay, ours is at 71.
Okay. Well,
I just want to take the
I pay
humidity
my
out of the
bills.
home.
So it shouldn't
60
even bother
degrees.
You. It should not bother you this
That's a
much.
sociopathic behavior.
Why?
It's antisocial. You just are saying, stay away. I have an igloo.
Yes. Yes. I'm saying that to Jennifer, my mom. My house is too cold for you. I like a cold house.
Does she bring an
no
Afghan?
better feeling. Yeah, she's always like, do you like a sweater? Do you like fuzzy socks, preferably with aloe inside? She's just... That's how she is when she comes to my house. I told you not to put pictures on the front of your fridge. It just looks so cluttered.
It's so trashy.
Yeah, it just looks like a trash heap. You can see her doing that.
Oh, again,
Bad.
thanks for kicking it with us. Regardless, I guess, which one is your air conditioning at? If you want to be a sociopath, it's 60 or whatever. I'm JJ. Kat's over here just freezing away. Alayna, what's good?
So yesterday I realized that my girlfriend Melissa might just be losing it a bit.
You're just
during
realizing this now.
Yeah, just a little bit. So she's working from home until the end of the year, and I think it's starting to take a toll on her because yesterday I go into her office, and she goes, "Look, I want to introduce you to Iris and Byron." And I'm thinking,
who are they?
I'm thinking, what the heck? I thought that she went out and got some more little guinea pigs, but thank goodness, no more fur babies. Instead, Iris is her new little iron, and Byron is her steamer. And she has decided with her cricket to make little name tags and put them on her little baby
She's
iron.
naming inanimate
steamer.
objects and then giving them names and name tags.
Yes.
Now, I think, she's hot, so I get it.
Yeah.
But there's like a cute crazy, and then there's like you can't sleep at night crazy. She is like teeter-tottering on that line.
I'm not a trained professional, but she's lost it.
But I can tell you, she needs medication.
She needs help. You should have her see something. Now, none of my business whether or not anybody's seeing somebody for whatever to talk through stuff in their life. But listen, there's a program here at work that you can get into, and I think whoever you're living with can get into as well.
Blink twice.
I'm thinking if you, you always know that you can come stay at my place. I've got room if something gets bad, right? I want to make sure that there's at least the option of a haven. If she starts naming things like, so she has an iron, she has a what else that she's named?
Steamer.
A steamer. All right, and this usually happens while you're at work. You come home and to this.
Yes. Okay. Yes, something new. But I know a lot of people name things. Like a lot of people have named their cars.
Yes.
So what is something that you have named? That's inanimate.
Inanimate.
I can't even say that word.
Epitome.
Inanimate.
Is she texting you right now, telling you how mad she is about this, and that's why you're stuttering?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, great. I don't listen. I'm not saying it's really a psychotic behavior at all. I'm going to imply it. I'm not going to say it, but I don't name things.
The only thing that we have like cutesy named is that huge rooster on top of our fridge because
Can
Derek,
you say it what it is?
Rock the. Liam calls him Henry, and it's only so we can rub it in Derek's face that it's out on display.
You
'cause he
people
hates it
putting
so much.
ceramic chickens and hens out, or you don't even know how close you're pushing us.
It literally looks like a taxidermied rooster. It's the size of a grown person's torso. It's that big on top of my fridge.
I don't name
and I love
things.
it.
I just won't. JT, what's good, man? How are you?
Wonderful. How y'all doing this morning?
Great, thank you. It's Dog Bite Awareness Week, and we were kind of talking about, if you've ever been bitten by a dog. I think it's kind of a common occurrence. My buddy Gordy has been a mailman for a long time, and he said never once has he been bit by a dog. And I was like, I thought they went after mailman. And I wanted to talk dogs this morning, but on my screen when it popped up that you had an anaconda story for me, I said, let's get this man on the radio. So please tell me about it.
I had a 16-footer grab me by my wrist. He shattered my left arm, my clavicle, 3 ribs, and punctured a lung.
Oh, my God. So he wraps around and yanks your arm, and that's how your clavicle was busted? Or how did that happen? He squeezed it?
Well, it was wrapped all the way around me, and it shattered my arm, 3 ribs on that side, and, well, not my clavicle, that's in your nose. It's that collarbone right there.
Yeah.
It's hard for most of us to understand how a snake can be strong enough to break your ribs by squeezing around you, but this is a real thing.
Yeah, they are tough little things. Now, I don't remember any of it. I remember the rustle in the bushes. Next thing I know, they're pulling me out of the water, freaking out, and I remember thinking, you let your kids run around barefoot chasing spiders and birds and stuff. If these people are freaking out, I'm done.
I'm pretty confident I'll never have a story like this because I don't put myself in situations where there are huge reptiles like that.
So this 16-foot anaconda attacks you, shatters your arm, breaks your ribs, breaks your collarbone. And why does it let go? That's always the big thing for me because they don't understand, human.
Evidently, and I mean, they do teach you about it when you're down there in the tribe. Before we headed up to Machu Picchu, they were actually talking about it just a few days earlier. And if you'll try to choke on him, he'll try to let go of you because I'm too big for him to eat. He wasn't looking for a meal. Evidently, I was near a nest. Evidently, and like I said, I don't remember none of this. It's no Indiana Jones stuff, but evidently I pulled a knife out, stuck him through the head into my armpit, and I'm what punctured my lung.
You stabbed a snake through its head, and then it stabbed you while it was trying to kill you because you were too close to its babies.
Well, I stabbed it through the head, and I evidently had it curled up in a headlock and stabbed myself in the armpit, and my knife was long enough to go into my lung.
This might be the greatest story we've ever had on the radio.
Should have been there, huh?
It actually worked out because they had to put a piece of bamboo in that hole where I stabbed myself to drain my lung and reinflate it.
Oh, well, so it was good. You know, it was almost like you thought it through.
Yeah, almost. I mean, at least they didn't have to stab me afterwards when I was conscious.
All right.
JT, you never cease to amaze us. Every phone call is just a bit different in a crazy way. We love it.
I'll shoot you some pictures on the text message here in a minute.
Please do. I'd love to throw those on our Facebook page. Thanks, brother. And everything okay now, though? You're okay with snakes? You get the heebie-jeebies?
They don't bother me in the slightest. It was my mess up. I was playing around in his house. If he was playing around in my house, I'd do the same thing.
You were the man I've always wanted to be.
No, I'm not. Trust me.
All right. Have a great morning, man.
You too, brother.
Take care. And then I'm going to bring Jason on the show because Jason apparently would like to try and top the I was attacked and almost killed by a 16-foot anaconda story.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
What do you got for the dog bite, man?
Well, I was about 2.5. I got two of them. I was about 2.5, 3 years old, and I was playing with a pit bull. And she was pregnant, and the dad actually came and locked onto my right side, basically on my hip, and took a nice big chunk out. And then it locked on. My dad had to beat it with a bat to sadly kill it.
Well, you know
that
what?
was the only way he could unlock the jaw.
Isn't that weird? A lot like humans, you mess with the baby mama, the dad is right there. So maybe you thought, even though you're being playful.
So the only way to get this dog off you was to beat it to death?
Yeah, so basically my dad had tried taking it off and everything, and he couldn't, so he had to grab a bat, and even after it was dead, it was still locked.
No way.
The jaw was still locked.
That's crazy. And that was one of 2 stories? What was the other one?
Yeah, so it was, about 2 years ago, I was over at my neighbor's house, and they had another pit bull, and I was just playing in the yard, going over to lock and talk to him, and I seen the dog kind of charging a little bit, so I lifted one leg up. She swung around, and she grabbed my other leg, the back of my calf.
And why? Why does that dog attack you? Were you by its babies? Was it
No,
too
I
hungry?
was just walking in the yard. She was just she wasn't having a good day or
There's something about that instinct in a lot of animals, man. Like I said, these guys and these humans that decide they want to, raise a baby tiger and let the little baby next to it, the human baby. I'm like, you got to know that eventually the tiger's going to get hungry and it's going to see the baby as just a meal. That's just.
Are you like JT where he's like okay with snakes, or are you completely terrified of dogs? You try to stay out of that situation.
No, even though I still love dogs. I mean, my mom's got a pit bull. She's huge, and I still love the dogs,
Yeah.
It's like it's part of the territory. If you're around enough, you're going to get bit, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Again,
well,
you're the man I've always wanted to be also.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, have a good day. Good Lord.
Tristan wrote in, my girlfriend's uncle got bit by a police dog when he was sleeping one night, forgot to latch his door shut. They were chasing after somebody. The dog went in, mistaken identity. This guy made off with millions.
He was sleeping, got attacked by a police dog.
Part of his calf is missing. Millions. Wow.
Would you give up one of your calves for millions?
Yeah, probably.
Yes. You take this calf.
God, I don't think so, man.
You only need one.
I feel like I use my legs a lot.
Your calf, though?
Well,
use your calves
every
day.
Shut up. All right.
Podcast. Download the podcast.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryant Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend immediately.
And hey, we have more podcast episodes available, so go check them out right now. Do it. Come on, do it. Seriously, do it.